writer, doctor of medicine, wrote, "A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions." You have had a multitude of new experiences in the last 4 years, each one an unretractable shift in the construction of who you have become. You're not going back. You're moving forward, stretched, pushed in ways that we are all very proud of. On this day, a time of recognition and celebration, please know our gratitude for your efforts, and particularly our shared pride in your tremendous success. Thank you. Liz Olson, the head of the middle school.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. This has been a class of many firsts, including the first class to spend time in Kendrick Center as both 7th and 8th graders. And today they have another important first. The first middle school's commencement ceremony in this location without sweat. Many of you have never been to commencement before. This group of people over here can appreciate that statement. I would like to welcome the faculty, the students, the parents, the relatives, and the friends of our 8th grade class, as well as our head of school, Mr. Campbell. And I'd like to start by thanking Kylie Hammond and Sophie Sweeney for the beautiful music this morning. We got to hear a little bit on your way in, so let's give them a round of applause. Before I turn my full attention to the students, I would like to pause a moment and have the students reflect on the teachers that they see seated before them or to their left. As you move out of the middle school, each of these teachers has had a role in shaping your life and helping you to become who you are today. I believe that teachers and students in our middle school have a special relationship that you don't find in many schools. As you go on to the upper school and beyond, you will carry a part of each one of your teachers with you. 8th grade students often narrow their focus to the last year of middle school. But I want you to look carefully as I ask the teachers of each grade level to rise and remember that your school experience was made up of many more people and experiences than just this year. I've asked some of the lower school faculty to be here. If you guys could rise and be recognized, please. I see you. Don't turn right back there. All right, teachers that shaped these children in 5th grade, please stand. 6th grade, please rise. 7th grade. And 8th grade faculty. Thank you very much for recognizing their contribution, which was huge. All right, students of the 8th grade, we started the year talking about what you choose to believe about yourself, your capabilities, and your world. I said that if you chose to believe that something is possible, you will be able to see it. And if you can see it, you can make it happen. Know that who you are and what you can become is usually only limited by what you see and believe about yourself and the world. Mr. Cirillo could see himself standing on top of Everest. If he could not have seen himself there, he never would have believed he could do it and he never would have gone. I have a sign in my office that says, "What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail?" And my question to you is, why not give it a try? Your life is what happens along the way. Several of the 8th grade students have been chosen by their peers and faculty to speak to you today. They will share far greater wisdom than I. I present to you our magical ceremonies, Matt Logan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matt Logan, and I'll be your host today as we witness an important graduation of 8th graders from middle school to beyond. Today we have the honor of seeing 64 graduates, 13 lifers, and 5 inspiring speakers on this stage today. So let's get started. You know, I was sitting backstage preparing for this celebration and I thought to myself, what's the big deal with this big graduation thing? I mean, you're only going from 8th to 9th. The difference is 1. It's the same as if you're going from 7th to 8th, and we didn't have a big party for that. Did we? Did we? I guess I just wasn't invited. I guess maybe there's a bigger difference than I thought. Anyway, the more that I think about it, the more I begin to realize that I can recall memories upon memories that I have in middle school. Some were good, some bad, but they were memories nonetheless. I learned about discipline, life, and the world, and just about how to live in general. Yeah, now that I think about it, middle school has been kind of key to my life so far. I'll let you know when I remember some reasons, but in the meantime, I'd like to call the podium a great friend of mine. I've known her for 10 years come September, and I don't want to forget any of it. She's intelligent, she's kind, and she's daring. Please welcome Kyle and Hannah.
Obsessed with dolphins, when I was 6 years old, my family and I took a trip to the family boat in Panama. While cruising full speed in the Pacific Ocean, we came across a school of dolphins. Being the excited, adventurous, and some could call foolish 6-year-old that I was, I nearly died of joy when my father asked if I would like to swim with them. Thinking that he meant right then, I jumped off the back of the boat as my dad turned around to put on his massive fins. Before my dad could realize what I had just done, I was almost out of sight of the boat. I didn't realize my mistake, and when I heard my dad yelling and trying to stop the boat, I became very confused. I decided to go back to my business and stuck my head back in the water to watch the dolphins. Little kids don't realize the danger in something until they fully enter in. This mindset is one that I think we should take on as we leave middle school. As Winston Churchill says, no crime is so great as not daring to succeed. Being a lifer at PCBS, I've learned many things about learning, having friends, daring in class, at home, and in all my surroundings. Memories from growing up at PCBS will always stay with me. Some of us remember putting ourselves out there in animals A to Z, trying as best we can to learn our lives, and in my case, get up the guts to dance in front of the whole lower school in leopard tights that my mom convinced me to very blindly. During a certain recess, I was very daring when I assured my classmates I knew all about bees and I picked one up. I was very disappointed when it stung me, and I got an allergic reaction. Another recess, a couple years later, a certain young girl was tied to a tree, while others tried their best to outwit Miss Johnson and steal all her candy. The World Series brought on multiple fights between Yankee fans and a certain Diamondback-obsessed teacher, and kickball was brought to a whole new level. 5th grade was a blur as we all tried to sort out our priorities, who our friends were, and what people we wanted to become. In 6th grade, we found out that India isn't a continent after all, and we learned about different cultures around the world. 7th grade was a year no one will forget, as we went to the Grand Canyon and spent 5 days within 20 feet of each other at all times. And 8th grade was interesting. We saw a teacher act out how to destroy a million pigs, became the only class to have their color for track and field baby, Keenan, nearly froze to death on the night dive in Catalina, learned enough grammar to last us the rest of our lives, and we grew closer each and every day. We had so many experiences along the way, but now it's time to make experiences memories as we leave our final chapter of middle school. We have grown so much since pre-K and changed into whole new people. We are ready to move on and to go our separate ways. But I challenge each and every one of us to enter this next section of our lives with the mindset of a kindergartner. We shouldn't be afraid to jump in the ocean. We should be excited to swim with the dolphins. Talk to people you don't normally associate with. Expand your horizons by doing things you haven't done before. Here's your chance to be who you want, to change. Here's your chance to dare to excel, to be daring enough to jump full speed into the ocean. Class of 2011, as we go our separate ways, keep the words of Helen Keller in mind. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. We should all strive for our lives to become an adventure. Thank you.
Of this graduating class, 13 of us have gone to this school for 10 years, ever since we started in pre-K. We've all experienced tons of fun things. As a pre-K student, I remember nap time. I pretended I was a secret agent. I acted like I was asleep, and when the teacher would turn away, I would crawl around and collect random objects. Then, when nap time was over, Joseph Abazi and I would see who had the most stuff. We all then became kindergartners. It was much more fun being older. I remember learning the alphabet. Each letter had its own character. I don't remember G's character, but I remember I didn't like it. After learning the alphabet, we learned numbers and counting. I liked this part because I found it easy. This grade was very challenging. We then became first graders. This grade was hard. I had to learn my address for the first time, which was very long and very confusing. But I do remember one fun thing. It was the shovels of power. Back in first grade, everyone knew girls had cooties. So to beat them in our imaginary games, we had to have the plastic shovels of power. One was blue for water, one was red for fire, and one was green for... At the time, we didn't consider earth an element, so the green shovel was grass. We would use these legendary tools to defend ourselves from evil girls who would try and kiss us. First grade was very dangerous, and we were lucky to survive. As a second grader, I felt on top of the world, until I saw my new classroom. There were frogs everywhere. I secretly thought my teacher may have been a frog. I would imagine her eating flies and jumping super high. But it turns out she wasn't one. I cruised past second grade and once again bumped up a grade. We were now in third grade. I did a report on Athena, the Greek goddess. I thought my project was amazing until the case rolled in a very large Trojan horse, which made my project look terrible. I remember kickball and foursquare. We would go out there every day, but sometimes we had to answer a trivia question first. One question I received read, if you are in third place and you pass the person in second place, what place would you be? I answered first and was more embarrassed than ever. Now we were in fourth grade. I learned many things. One of which is I don't like to read. It turns out another well-known person also doesn't like to read. His name is George Bush.